Greetings, friends. The call is upon me, and I hope it is upon you. I am very excited to be here. Yesterday was my first video, and I dropped a bombshell. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I also have links in the description below, my website and my PDF. The universe's PDF, your PDF. Go check it out, download it. So today, reinforcing yesterday's message, we're going to mix in a few other concepts. I have a lot of information. I've been doing this for many, many years, and I've been selfishly a lone wolf, and I'm sorry. So now I'm here. Although I must say, I'm also happy. Not just because I'm here, but I got some good stuff. I got some goods for you guys, especially for the ones out there that are not living to their full potential. Yeah, I think I'm here for you guys. It's a really tough spot to be in. I was there for most of my life, and right now you could even consider the same thing from certain aspects. I don't see it that way. I think I'm exactly where I need to be. This is why I'm so excited. You know, most of my narrative has been underdog, overcoming, rise above. And yes, of course, we want to do those things. We should. I have to change the narrative because of my understanding of it all. And this is where relativity comes in. You know, if we are in a victim role, it usually doesn't help to hear, well, you're letting them hurt you. You're letting them abuse you. You gave them your power. Because if you're in a victim role, you already don't see how that is so. Here, this is usually where we are not being true to our nature. And why? Subconscious programs, overt programs, habit, reinforcement over time. Sometimes it happens by accident, and it's a process. So if you're going to go try something new, let's say it's your first time doing it, and then that's when you discover it's not good for you, and then you back off and you go on your merry way, we don't really consider that being in a victim role. Like something happened, there was an energy exchange or some kind of event went down, but we actually see that typically as a normal event. I'm not trying to say it's okay to victimize people, and of course, relativity being what it is, this is a giant spectrum, right? I'm talking about maybe two friends have a little spat, right? Or you try dating someone, you find out it doesn't work, you go away. Well, that was not my case because I wasn't being true to my nature. You see, I was taught from a very young age that the first order logic of everything was outside of myself. And I think that's where we need to start. Relativity can come in here too. And we could say, well, first order logic can be relative. What about for the situation? First order logic, let's make sure we define it first. It basically means the true intention, the true reason or rationale behind something. I'm making this video because of my first order logic, which is I am here to help guide other people. I denied my first order logic, my true essence, when I was a child. And because of that, I continued to go up against things that I should not have gone up against. So this is the best way for me to articulate this to you right now. You need to be true to your nature first. Because if you are not, you are already denying the correct first order logic. It's not to say that you can't overcome these things, and it's not to say that you can't necessarily undo some of those things in a way. But, you know, when I go through my lived experience, it exists as it does. And yet at the same time, it undoes itself because here I am today with a whole new path ahead of me. And I want you guys to understand this. If you have a lived experience which has traumatized you, troubled you, altered your first order logic, that is where you should start. Because everything is relative, and you gotta start where you gotta start. And you gotta start with you. You know, we are the only things, in a sense, that we really have or ever will have. I'm wearing clothes, but we all know we change clothes, we take our makeup off, we change our socks, we walk in and out of buildings, we walk in and out of lives. What do you have at the end of the day? You have yourself. When you have yourself, but that weight and the gravity and the heaviness of what you're carrying with you is against your first order logic and your true nature, then that is what you will continue to play out later on. So in order to get to the next stage of our journey, we really do need to recognize where we are right now. That is the most important thing that you can do today. You could do it now. You can look and just observe. If you aren't in a place where you can move from it or past it or beyond it, then that is the first thing that you can do. Having this as your first order logic will help you in all of your next steps, because you will take yourself with you where you go. You see, I had it wrong. I looked at life like a map, and in the map I would try to put all these little flags. You just imagine a space and everything is crammed together. You can't even fit another one in there. And I would say, okay, for this situation you do X, Y, and Z. For this situation you do X, Y, Z, but you actually do it X, Z, Y. And you just go on from there. And you know, that is massive. That's way too much information for me to handle, to remember, to process. It's also a lot of data points there. So you want to talk about taking the time to make a decision. If you guys are indecisive and it takes you a little bit of time to make decisions, you really should consider that you need to alter your first order logic. Everyone's first order logic should be for themselves. And even your first order logic, in a way, itself will look like it's changing. It's not really, because it's always for you, but where you are and what you relate to will change. But as long as you keep your first order logic for you, you'll be safe.